Dillion Brooks' situation is wild. The same man who used to guard LeBron like his life depended on it is now straight up begging the courts for protection from his own baby mama. I'll have someone cut each one of your fucking little fingers off. That's not a lyric. That's a direct quote from Heather Andrews, the white woman who shares 2 children with Dillion Brooks. According to court filings, Dillon says she sent him this threat verbatim, adding that she hoped he'd never play basketball again. He didn't just say she was emotionally abusive, he said she tried to destroy his life piece by piece, one threat at a time. According to Dillon, it all started after they met in Vegas back in 2018. She got pregnant a few months later, and that's when things started unraveling. It wasn't long before she allegedly hacked his social media, trashed his house, and even sent him this unhinged message. "I'll send someone after your mom too." Let me say that again. She allegedly threatened his mother. This ain't just relationship beef. It's some Lifetime movie type mess. And here's where it gets even darker. Dillon says Heather accessed their co-parenting app, Our Family Wizard, and used it to send herself a fake threat from Dillon's account. If true, that's serious. That's not just harassment. That's criminal impersonation to build a legal case. He claims this was all part of a long-standing campaign to make him look like the bad guy so she could take full control of their kids and ruin his NBA standing. When the story broke, fans went crazy in the comments. Cut off his fingers, she's literally threatening bro's career. She should be behind bars for that. Dillion Brooks can guard LeBron, but not his baby mama. Women becoming dangerous day by day. Let's speculate for a sec. The trade involving Brooks and Durant happened real quietly. Did the NBA or the Rockets know this restraining order filing was coming? Could this be why they offloaded him so quick? Let's not forget they got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old in the middle of all this. And now, according to court docs, she's trying to weaponize those children to paint him as unstable. He says she's actively trying to destroy his mental health and reputation. While some folks don't want to take sides in a toxic split, the threat to cut off his fingers has made many fans instantly side with Dillon. A judge in Los Angeles is set to hear both sides next month, and let me tell y'all, this could get messier. Both Dillon and Heather have TROs, temporary restraining orders, against each other now. Who's the aggressor? Who's manipulating the system? And who's truly at risk? This story's far from over. Court's about to expose everything, the messages, the fake threats, the receipts. And depending on how this goes, it might end Dillon's NBA run or finally bring justice to his side.
50 Cent just confronted one of the darkest claims ever made against Fat Joe because a new lawsuit says Joe once tried to have him unalived. The court filing didn't come from a random source either. It came from someone who used to be right next to Joe, his former hype man, who now says Joe put a hit on 50 during their early 2000s beef, but backed off when he realized 50 was being guarded like a federal target. And as you guys probably remember, Whack 100 said the same thing years ago, that 50 was rolling with Navy SEAL type protection and anybody who tried him wasn't making it back. So now that the plot's been dragged into court, 50 isn't staying silent. He's already clapped back, publicly confronting the claims with a sarcastic IG post that's got everyone asking, is this just an old grudge being flipped into a money grab, or did Fat Joe really try to take him out? Let's get into it.
I mean, you and 50 hooked back up because of Chris Lighty at his funeral?
Well, at his funeral, we were both there in attendance, and that was that. But then we did a tribute at the BET Awards to...
He's one of the guys that you actually want to be friends with.
Yeah, man.
Joe.
I love Joe.
He's even my issues with him was he's loyal to a default.
Terrence T. A. Dixon, the man behind the lawsuit, used to be right next to Fat Joe, hype man, assistant inner circle. But now, he's accusing Joe of everything from underage SA and coercion to attempted redrum and violent control. The most headline-grabbing part? Dixon says Fat Joe planned to hit on 50 Cent. That during the peak of their beef, Joe was ready to put money on 50's head. But the plan didn't move forward. Why? Because 50's security wasn't just good, it was elite. The filing says Joe's people backed off when they realized realized 50 was rolling with Navy SEAL-type protection. Now, before anyone dismisses that as exaggerated, Whack 100 backed that up years ago. He said straight up, 50's detail wasn't regular rap bodyguards, they were military. Real ones. And anyone who thought they could get close wasn't making it back. Here's a clip of Whack 100 talking about it.
We got up there, we came in and you had Navy SEALs with him. 2 in all directions. I was about 6 of them.
So if someone was plotting something behind the scenes, they definitely had to fall back. But now that it's being brought up in a court filing, it's raising a much bigger question. What else did 50 know back then? And who else might have been in on it? After the lawsuit made headlines, 50 didn't waste time. He jumped on Instagram with a post that had people doing double takes. He wrote, "These baseless accusations and claims are not credible. I'm sorry Joe has to endure the public scrutiny and damage to his reputation. This a stick you up. I wrote this hook, I should have kept this one." So yeah, that's 50 being 50. But make no mistake, he's basically calling the whole thing a shakedown. And Fat Joe seemed to appreciate the save. He dropped a 100 emoji in the comments. No long caption, no defense, just that. Which has people wondering, if 50's not pressing charges or sounding mad, is it because he thinks the claim is laughable? Or is it deeper than that? Now this is where things take a turn. Because while the murder plot got the headlines, the lawsuit also accuses Joe of some of the worst things you can imagine. According to Dixon, Fat Joe had repeated X-rated encounters with younger people, 15 and 16-year-old girls, and used money, clothes, and even cell phone bills to manipulate them. He claims Joe paid for a Brazilian butt lift for one of the girls because her body wasn't developed enough. He also says Joe flew her out to New York and Miami multiple times, and she eventually ended up marrying a pro athlete. There's even a claim that Joe ran involving dancers, minors, and staff, including Dixon himself. The filing says it wasn't a one-time thing, it was routine. And as y'all probably know, once a case mentions X crimes against young people, everything else gets reevaluated. That's why 50's reaction, while funny, might also be his way of keeping distance from what's about to blow up. And while 50's out here joking, the internet's not laughing, because now everyone's asking, did Fat Joe really try to get 50 unalived? Or is this the first of many secrets that were never supposed to come out? I'll be watching, so smash that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.